guys. Thank you for being patient. We're just getting everything organized here. It's just starting. I'm beginning to get it going here. Okay, there we are. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Get people into the room. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, let me get this recorded. Okay, so we're getting it together. We're getting everything set up. Okay, so welcome everyone. Hello, Kirsten. Emo MG62. Hello, hello. How gorgeous you look. Hi, Chris. MG Sacral. Apologies, I'll disappear. Okay, no worries. Hello from Los Angeles. Hello, Lucera and MG. Let's see, we've got a 3-5 splenic projector. Hey, Teresa. So welcome, everybody. Welcome to your bonus training today. We're going to be doing an introduction on the manifestation principles and how to integrate them into this new concept that we're breaking down, bringing the Kabbalah into human design, where the law of attraction fits in, where the manifestation tools fit in. It's going to be an incredible ride. I've been doing a lot of research on this and finding a lot of very, very, very interesting aspects to how these things fit together. And anyone who knows my work, you know that I am a researcher. Did anyone else have trouble? This? You're fine? Okay, thank you. Okay, so it's going to be on your end. If you lost sound, I apologize. Okay, so I think everyone else is still good. So I want to let you guys know a little bit about this journey, what's been happening here, and how this has been downloading. So as I started studying, I've been integrating and teaching and doing a certification program for the last 7 years in human design. I know for a fact that human design information is transformational. It impacts people at the very core of their DNA code. We know that this is true. We know that when you experiment with the uniqueness of your chart, it's like your song, who you are, starts to come alive. You start to awaken in ways that you've pushed down, have been conditioned, and maybe been afraid to express yourself in that unique way. Now, what I came up against in human design were specific things that were not working in alignment with spiritual psychology, healing modalities, and manifestation modalities, healing the body and dealing with trauma, wounding. And because I'm so committed to this path and to human design, it impacted me deeply. And I wanted to continue to understand what is missing. What am I not seeing? And I do believe it's a system flaw, but not inherently. I think the messenger, Ra Urahu, brought down really important information. He combined the I Ching, the Kabbalah, the neutrino sciences, astrology, and the chakra system. He put it together in unique synthesis. What I find so very interesting is that no one is talking about the Kabbalah. So this kind of sparked something in me and I began the rabbit hole. So if you're just jumping in, please type in the chat something you love about your human design, what your type is, and also the link was wrong again. Oh my God. I checked and double checked. We all double checked. I'm so sorry, Corinne. Is that what's going on? The link is wrong again. Okay. We double checked like 5 times. I'm sorry about that if you're jumping in. You had to go to the Facebook page. Okay, I really apologize. So it says event was yesterday. It says the event was yesterday. It says the event was yesterday. Okay, we're good now. Okay. Hey, Boo. Some people are having trouble with the link. Would you mind just making sure? Sorry, everybody. Give me 1 second. We're having a technical difficulty here. Can you just make sure everyone has a link if there's any emails? Okay, let's get into it. Thank you, my love. All right. So sorry, guys. Don't you love all the technical pieces? All right. So were you wondering about that too, Becky? Yes. Where is it? Where does it fit in? So I was drawn to this information not through human design. I was drawn to it for my own healing. And I started studying and started researching, and things began to move. My system began to shift. Healing began to take place in my body that for the last decade, nothing was changing. And it was miraculous. And I started to understand this work with the Kabbalah. And then it dawned on me, this is part of human design. And then it dawned on me that there is a new revelation that says that this information of human design is prophesied to come out at this time in history, just like Ra Uru has said that this is the time that we are here to go through that mutation. So this to me is really fascinating. It is a big, big piece in what is happening across the board with these ancient mystery schools. The Kabbalah is really only one, but what I started to notice, the more I studied, the more I began to understand, it's similar in so many ways to human design. One, the true blueprint of the Kabbalah is not religious. The true blueprint of the Kabbalah is a wisdom that was passed down and created before our time that we can really even process. And it is said to not believe it. It's an experiment to see how it resonates with you and how it's downloading when you experiment with it. So one thing that I found extremely interesting as I started researching this was, first, of course, how do I bring this into human design? What's the resonance? Where do I need to find the pieces? How does it relate to the chart? What's happening here? And then the downloads start just pouring through my system, pouring through. And I started having incredible revelations. The books are coming, a lot of written by Davidian, and the intel is coming. This is a brand new system that we're creating. But the one thing that I want to talk about today, because we're going to be doing our 90-day manifestation, it says spring for summer, but I meant to say sprint, sprint for summer, is that there is a missing piece in the law of attraction. And this is what we're going to talk about today. So when you guys may have heard me, as I started dropping into this information, I saw a correlation between Abraham Hicks and the Kabbalah. So if you've studied Abraham Hicks, you know that she talks about the vortex. She says, if you ask, it is given. So the minute you have a desire, you have the solution. It's contained within. And the thing I kept wondering is, Abraham, that's can't be a coincidence, because the original Kabbalist was Abraham, the father of religion, before religion. Okay, this is ancient wisdom. They also say that some ancient Kabbalists hid this wisdom in the Tarot because they were being persecuted. And then, of course, then the witches got persecuted for the tarot. So this knowledge is, people are afraid of it because it directly links you to your own divine source. Why does it make people afraid? Because you are not easily controlled when you are realize how powerful you are and how much ability you have to manifest your life. And when it's so clear and the systems are broken down, everything begins to change in these areas. So today I'm going to take this area, the missing piece of the law of attraction. This is the bonus that I wanted to give you guys in the 30-day challenge, because this is going to be the piece that you can really embody and begin seeing these transformations in your life. So when I read that about, when I saw the correlation between human design, between the Kabbalah and law of attraction, particularly Abraham Hicks, I started studying who else learned from the Kabbalah and where is it hidden in a lot of the teachings. And I started to notice that, of course, the most famous Kabbalist is Jesus, right? The irony of it. And also Carl Jung, Pythagoras. And then on the right here is Neville Goddard. And he brings the law of attraction tool. So when I started to see that, I was like, of course. Okay, so this is the foundation for all the law of attraction. And my mind, because I'm a researcher, because I have 10 line ones, because I need to get to the bottom of everything, I need to see exactly where it's fitting in and where the missing pieces are. To me, this is very, very exciting. To me, this is the transformational work. To me, this is what my soul has been calling for me to do, because I want everyone to succeed. And I see with human design, people get so far, but then they get so far in their uniqueness, but they still have blocks in their manifestation. Sometimes, not everyone. Now, the group that I've been beginning this process with, thank you, Chris. The group that I've been beginning this process with, it's more of our high-end clients that we took them through a higher end. They got one-on-one attention. They got this really deep dive through their chart, through the soul correction. So we each have a unique soul correction and we map it out for you. So I'm going to talk about what the soul correction means today, and I'm going to talk about why that's your main block for your manifestation. But what started to happen with these higher end clients that we've been working with was people who had reached ceilings in their businesses, some of whom already have a very successful business, but were ready to go to their next level. And when we started really moving this into the certainty, into their charts, into their unique soul correction, instantaneously, the business began to double. Things they've been stuck on for months, weeks, started to transform. So we're already seeing these results when we're getting very specific and detailed with people's charts and how to do the integration piece with the law of attraction. So you can see all of the pieces here where human design is mapping the aspects of the I Ching, the channels, the activations, the chakras, the astrology, and the Kabbalah. Now, this is not the details that I want to get into today. However, I do want to get into them, okay, because it is really fascinating and it all lines up. The I Ching, the 64 gates, how these work with the all of the teachings through the Kabbalah. It's very scientific, it's very specific, it's very transformational. But today I wanted to give you guys something very, very practical. Now, I want to start with this notion of the 1949. This notion of the octave. This, of course, I just noticed this is a little off on the chart. Isn't that funny? Don't you love that? But what this is the gate 1949, the channel 1949, and it's merging with the 55. I don't have a better picture of it today, but where is it? I just noticed that I had my AI create this picture for me and they put the numbers wrong. So you gotta love AI. But now we know AI is not always correct. But I do want to tell you guys that this is in the human design chart. Let's see. Do you guys who has the 1949? Who has the gate 55? Anybody here? Let's see. All right, so this picture here, let me blow it up for you. This is where the break is happening in the 1949, and the 1949 is merging with the 55. So tell me in the chats, and those of you who are watching live on a different system, let's see here. I'm going to see if I can, in the 1949 and the sorry, I just want to see if I can see the chats here. So I see embodied vibrance. Hey, I'm glad you made it. I see, okay, embodied vibrance has a 19. Tell me your name so I know who it is. And then Brenda, hi. Uh-oh, she couldn't get on the Zoom, said it was yesterday. All right, sorry, Brenda. I'm glad you found it though. Oh, Michelle Martin. Okay. Michelle's the 1949. Brenda has the 1949. Okay. How about you guys that are here on the Zoom? Who's got the 1949 and the 55? Becky, you have the 55. Ooh, that's where the magic is happening. Megan, you have the 49. Okay, good. I have the 19, Corinne. Okay, awesome. So basically, let me explain to you a little bit about what's happening here with the 1949. So what we have is the 19 is the 1949 is the tribal crying out. Who will feed us? Who will protect us? Who will bless us? Who will keep us together? It's also about the rejection, the survival. It's the covenant. It's the tribal God. How do we know who's going to be protect us in our tribe? And this is all contained here in the launching of the mystical way. The mystical way starts at the gate 19, and this is where we first find the mysticism outside of ourselves. It's the outside reach for something to protect us, something outside of ourselves. And the tribe says, I will protect you from hunger. We'll have shelter. We'll have safety. We'll have emotional belonging. And this is where the last 411 years have been held together. Now, what's happening with the break is that the 55 is getting ignited through the revolution of the 49. So for those of you in the 55, this is where the magic is really taking place. I thought I had that. So the magic of the 55 is where the evolution and the awakening is happening. So a couple of people are saying that they couldn't have gotten into the Zoom link, and I just really apologize, you guys. I don't know how that happened. Honestly, I told everybody, let's double check it. I put it on the email today. I put it on, and we had the team do it on the school group. So it's insane. Hi, Nikki. I see you. Yay. Okay, so I'm glad everyone's finding their way here. Regardless of the technology glitches. Okay. So the 55 is this awakening of individual abundant spirit uniquely. So what I love so much about this is that when the revolution awakens in the individual spirit of the 55, we're going to find this manifestation, this power within that taps in to the power of the divine source. Some people call it the creator. Some people call it God within us. So that means it's the religion of you, the one, your unique way that the divine source is coming through you uniquely. Not being afraid of the word because of the abuse it's caused. Not being afraid of the spiritual override. Not being afraid that you're not going to be able to handle the energy or all of the other pushing away of that energy because of whatever the tribal systems have force controlled and provided misinformation and information that was not clear about how all of these things operate. So my goal is to bring this information in a new way, a unique way, a transformational way, not just in your human design chart, but in your manifestation as well. The problem has always been how triggering it is to the tribe to possess it. Exactly. That's exactly right. And also, the minute you know your own power, that's the minute you reclaim your uniqueness and any abdication you put towards anyone else, right? So today, we're going to be really talking about how this system is found within the manifestation. So the name of this call is about your 90-day summer manifestation sprint. So we're bringing it into manifestation. Okay. Hey, Vicky. Hey, ya peeps. Hi. So this is so important. This is so important. So for those of you with that 1949, you're going to be feeling it very powerfully. Those of you with the 55, that's where that individualized spirit is going to be embodied and expressed through your life. So the way that I'm seeing the tree of life, and again, this is my work that we are bringing in, Davidian and I. We're going to be bringing this very specifically into the chart through every gate, every channel, and the whole process of simplified Kabbalah, non-religious, and very specifically practical. Okay. I am a line 5. It needs to be universalized. It needs to be practical. So the way that this is coming through is that the 1% is held here in the G center. This is where the illusion is held. This is where the Maya is held. And this is where all of your human design is held. In human design, as well as in the Kabbalah, they say in the illusion, you have you have identity and form, and the movie of the life, and the illusion of free will. The illusion of free will. So what Ra calls this is no choice, because you were born into these bodies. Did you build your body? No. Do you rise the sun in the morning? No. Do you beat your heart? No. So Ra holds this position of no choice. Now, when you merge the Kabbalah into human design, what it says is the agreement that there is no choice in Malkut, which is in the G center, holding the illusion together, your subconscious and your conscious. There's no choice here. The choice is in the 10 dimensions of the tree of life. One choice. You have one choice here in the illusion, and the one choice is to connect in with the divine will, the divine source. And that's your only choice, because 99% of reality exists in the unseen world. This is where your soul is operating, and it's 10 dimensions until you reach these higher states of consciousness and connection to the God zone. So what the Kabbalah is literally a map of your soul, why you're here. And it's personalized when we bring it through your human design. This new body of work that we're going to be doing is called the ZoCode. We're going to be bringing all of this information, the Kabbalah, which is the finally ready to be revealed into human design. It is something that the mystics and the Kabbalah has been prophesizing that it's going to be brought forward to the masses, you can say, during this time in history. It's going to be brought forward for people to use for manifesting. It's going to be brought forward for people to understand the true nature of religion, not based on control. It's going to be tapped into so you can have your unique, personalized, special connection to the light source, your unique embodiment of God within. And again, when I use certain words, I know it triggers people. I am not talking religion here. Okay, I'm talking about bringing this uniquely through so that you can awaken your truth. This is all in the 1949 to the 55. It's like when you see it based in human design, it's so powerful. Okay, it's just completely transformational and powerful. So before I go into our 90-day sprint, I do want you to know that I have an invitation for all of you for an 8-week initiation through the ZoCode, which is a live experience for human design lovers, learners, spiritual awakening conscious souls who are committing to becoming aware of their old patterns and elevating their soul calling in life, love, career, as well as mind, body, and soul. So I know that for a lot of people, this information may be triggering. It may or may not resonate. But for those of you who are seeing the resonance and seeing ready to really get spiritually aware, how does the human design fit in? How does the God zone fit in? And how does manifestation fit together? We're going to be aspecting that through, oh my God, the Telegram group, send us to Zoom. We found you here on YouTube, Jansen and Adam. I'm so glad you guys made it. Okay, I have been having the worst technology issues today. So Jansen and Adam and anybody who is not making it here, I apologize. I'm so happy you guys are on YouTube. I will put the replay if you missed the beginning, and it will be up by the end of this evening. Okay, we'll make sure we get it to you guys. I'm very, very sorry for that. Don't you love it? Don't you love it? Okay. So what we're going to be doing here is the law of attraction, what it got right and where it falls short. So today, this is the most important piece I want you guys to get, is what it gets right and where it falls short. So we know that consciousness affects reality. This is also the biology of belief. This is becoming well known through so many teachers now, with Joe Dispenza, with so many teachers, so many teachers. Okay, Abraham Hicks, you name it, law of attraction is here. So what it gets right is consciousness affects our reality. Where you place your attention matters. Feeling state is part of the signal. And this is very real. This is spiritual principle, and it's very Kabbalistic as well. We also know this notion where Abraham Hicks says, your dreams, your money, your $1,000,000, it exists in the vortex now. It exists in the now, but you need to feel it before it can arrive. You need to believe it before you see it. Well, I needed all of that step by step broken down so that my mind could literally understand exactly why. And the Kabbalah shows you exactly how these things fit together. Okay. It shows you where everything was mistaken, where each piece is systematically dialed for the awareness to come through. And the piece I'm going to talk about today, this is the missing piece, but this is one of quite a few. Okay. And a lot of it we did in the 30-day challenge as far as the sacred practices, because sacred practices make all the difference. But where it falls short, and by the way, those of you who want to do the 8-week program, that 30-day program is going to be a part of it that you can catch up with. And those of you who did the 30-day program, your investment is applied to the 8-week program if you're interested. One other piece to that, I am doing a substantial 30% off for the first 5 people who want to do the 8-week program. So if you want to do it, you want to get a discount, that's the way to do it. And then we're adding a one-on-one human design reading, specifically through your chart for anyone who joins before June. I believe we have it till June 9th. Okay, looks like everybody made it on to YouTube. Jody made it with Candace. I'm sorry. I just want to cry when these things happen. I'm so glad you guys made it. But you're here just in time because we're about to get into the good stuff. Preparing your summer sprint, okay? Your manifestation for this period of time. And it is in totally alignment with how this energy is moving. Where it falls short, okay? So visualization can rearrange your emotion toward an outcome, but it often skips the most important element, and what the Kabbalah calls is the vessel, which you can use the word consciousness really in there. Some people call it desire, but I like the word consciousness because I think that hits the most. So if unworthiness, scarcity, or fear of being seen is still active, the light may arrive but blow the circuit. So in other words, if you are asking for something specific like $1,000,000, but you can't hold it, you will sabotage, you will push it away, and your subconscious just cannot hold it. It will not bring it in. So what we work on very specifically are steps to transform the consciousness, what Kabbalah calls the vessel. So in other words, you have to change the vessel. So if in the law of attraction, you're changing the request without changing the vessel. So basically, let's say you're going to a vineyard and you have a glass, a chalice, and you go to a vineyard and what you can hold is a glass of wine. But what you're asking for is to manifest the vineyard. You want to manifest the vineyard. Well, a vineyard isn't held in a wine glass. You need to expand what you can hold in order for it to come in. We see this practically with people who win the lottery. A lot of people use that example. But the idea here in the Kabbalah is that to change the consciousness, it takes very specific steps to change. And another core reason why most people can't change is because of their soul's correction. So, in other words, what it also is saying is that the soul correction, okay, hold on a second. The soul correction is this shift in reality, okay? This is the shift in reality. So, most people say, I am wounded with my finances because my parents were in lack, or my parents were abusive, or my parents taught me that you needed to suffer, you needed to struggle, you needed to really do all kinds of work in order to make the money, right? So basically, you have this notion that here's the problem, my parents did this to me. So what Kabbalah is saying is that you have that all backwards. Okay. Law of attraction, all of these teachings, they have it backwards. What Kabbalah is saying is that your soul, before you arrived, it said, this soul needs to learn abundance without conditions. It needs to learn how to flow the money out, to flow the money in. It needs to learn how to pay for things with the beauty of this is my sacred divine flow, and then receive things with that is my divine flow, and not with guilt, shame, and all the stuff wrapped in. So your soul is saying, this soul needs to learn this. Let's choose the parents that wrap the package up perfectly. Okay, this is the parents that are going to have scarcity. They're going to have abuse around money. They're going to tell you, oh, you better hold on because you're going to lose it all. Or, or if you invest in you, you're going to fail. All of these things. The way Kabbalah looks at it is your soul set that up for you to learn how not to react when those things keep hitting you over and over and over again, to see them coming at you from a different perspective, so that when you transform the lesson, you grow in strength, and that strengthens your vessel in order to receive. So, and the other thing that the Kabbalah says is the entire reason why you're here on this planet is to do this soul correction. It's not to get the money, it's to correct the soul's curriculum. You came with a curriculum, and there's no other reason why we're on the planet. There's no other reason why we're here. We're not just here to, have the white picket fence, to have the house, to have this, to, work the 9 to 5. We're here to correct the things that the soul came here to correct. And when you start to learn this, not just with money, but you start to learn this with health issues, you start to learn this with physical ailments in the body, you start to realize that, oh, sure, you can look to things outside of yourself. You can look for this teacher. You can look for this modality. You can look for this training on money, on business. Why does it work for them, not for me? One piece is the human design. Okay. Yeah, we got that piece. We know that piece. Some of you are like, I still don't know that piece. Don't worry. We're going to teach you that piece. Okay. But that is important. But once you get that piece, then the next piece is, why is it that all of these things aren't transforming for me? Well, it's because you keep reacting in the same way. You keep reacting with lack. You keep reacting with you're not good enough. You keep reacting with I caused the problem, or they caused the problem, right? Or it's my parents that caused the problem. You're reacting with the soul's wounding what you're here to correct. And so therefore you never strengthen the vessel to be able to hold your destiny. And then you also aren't necessarily doing the work that you need to do in order to bring forward the strength and the expansion to hold the manifestations that you're calling in. Did that land for you guys? So let me take a pause here for a minute. Everybody had talked about something they wanted to manifest. So we're going to add an additional piece to this, your 90-day sprint. So did that land for you? Tuna, does that land for you, Tina? Hi, Tina. Is this good? Is this good? Yes, Teresa? All right. I'm seeing the comments on YouTube if you're watching live on YouTube. So type your comments there as well. Now, let's circle back to your manifestation. We're doing the 90-day sprint. So I would like you guys to type in the chats what it is you want to focus on for the next 90 days. So 90 days is a specific amount of time. For some people, they want to be a millionaire, but in the next 90 days, you want to start a new business, So we're getting specific just for the next 90 days. I would like everybody to type it into the chat. If you're listening to the replay, type it in. LOL, I'm addressing the miseducation of me. Oh, I love that. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. Generational learning. Yes, same messages so many times, but never so brilliantly. Awesome. Awesome. Yes, it landed. It landed. Awesome. Awesome. Little projector or a go. Yes, exactly. It's like, how many times have we heard the law of attraction manifestation? Well, Kabbalah brings it through in an entirely new way. And the soul correction is very specific to each person. Each person has a very specific correction. This is what Davidian and I are mapping out, what we're going to be doing for you in the 8-week program specifically, because it takes a bit of working in your human design chart, and it's not what you think. Okay, so the most interesting thing to me is my soul correction was not the not self. It was not my shadow aspect in my human design chart. It was a completely different aspect, and learning it has begun already to transform so much for me. So we are mapping it out because it's unique, and there's a very specific process that we're going to take you through. And I hope you guys are curious about it because we're so excited to bring it to you. Specific, receiving clients that fit perfectly, not just about money for abundance and long term, and holding on to that. Awesome, Teresa. Thank you so much. Fearlessly allowing myself to be seen by the masses. Yes, I love that, Becky. Awesome. Create family clubs. Brenda says freedom and leadership. Yes. And some of you who have been in my classes, this is a repeat question, but we're going to have a very unique exercise we haven't done yet. So even if you've been in my classes and this is a repeat question, go ahead and type it in the chat because we're going to do something today that we haven't done yet. Increasing my editing business. Okay, good, Tina. So this is good because, there's big visions of things and we're working towards all different bigger visions. And then there's 90-day visions, right? I love that. Who else is here live in the Zoom room? Zoom room people. Okay, I'm calling you out. Zoom room people, type it in the chat. Type in the chat. Who else do we have in here? Hey, Jennifer. Just saw you there. Mia, Trev, Kareen. Calling you out. Let me know. Let me know in the chats. I want to hear from you guys. When you participate, it makes a big difference because you will be surprised. What happens when you do the exercise full out and you say yes to yourself, you commit full out, things begin to change and we co-create together. So that's why I'm calling you out, not to be mean, not to be rude. Okay, no worries. And if you're just listening, I don't mean to be rude. I'm just calling you internally. If you can't type it in the chat, then do it when you're also, if you can't write, because we're going to pull out our journals in just a minute, then come back to this when you have time. This video is going to be on YouTube, so you can listen into it. Whoops. Oh, Corrine, I'm sorry. I know you were here a little bit late. So what we're talking about is really the law of attraction and the missing pieces. So we're talking about when people do manifestation, what is the foundation of manifestation comes from this teaching of this ancient mystery school blueprint that's found in human design. So the foundation is human design, and then the Kabbalah is a new way of bringing the information through uniquely. So yeah, you're saying there's something in each individual chart that's our way of manifesting. Okay, yeah, so that's true too. That is true too. So there is a unique place in the chart that shows you the ways in which your should manifest. So we look at that in the area of the perspective, whether you're specific or non-specific manifester, whether you're here to be focused on strategy or you're here to be focused on more of a passive receptive kind of feminine approach. It would be the difference between feminine manifesting and masculine going after. Also your aura type, whether you're a projector, a manifester, or generator, all of those things in action are integrated differently. Now with the Kabbalah, the soul correction is the place that comes from the unseen world of the tree of life. And that's the piece that you can't really find in your human design chart that we're bringing forward when you merge the Kabbalah into the chart. It's something that Davidian and I are working on, and it's going to be specific to the ZoCode work. And it's something that we're still mapping out. So we're going to be doing it for everybody who wants to do the next leg, which is the 8-week course. And then, of course, the more and more we bring the work out, the more we'll be able to bring it forward for you guys. But basically what the soul correction is the tree of life, which is your past lives and the map to the unseen world, why you're here. It's like your soul's purpose, and it's very specific, and you can map it out, but it's not seen directly one-to-one on your human design chart. So we need to ask you like a series of questions and then put it together with your human design chart. So that's probably where I wasn't clarifying, but so that's a great question. But today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you an exercise so that everybody can have a direct experience of seeing something in a new way. I'm going to give you a direct one-to-one exercise on where the law of attraction falls short in human design. And this is based on the Kabbalah being revealed in human design. And I'm trying to do it in language that is not religious or that turns people off, because that's the first thing that I noticed is that people were like, what are you talking about? And that sounds pretty religious. And religion sometimes tends to isolate, where it's like, I'm this religion, you're that religion. my God is better than your God or whatever. And it's not, I want to say every religion is welcome here, and every religion, wherever you're coming from, um, is beautiful. And some people come to it, however you come to it. But in this work, it's every religion welcome. And then finding out where any misinterpretation may have led you somewhere astray in your manifestations and in your soul's purpose, right? I get all you're saying about the vessel. Oh, good. Awesome, Corinne. I'm so excited. Yay. Okay. So this is also where law of attraction falls short. So many people have been called to the transformation, have spent years studying human design, the healing work, the personality development, spiritual intensives, the gene keys, and other modalities. And we notice that even after years of certain work, patterns continue to show up. Okay, patterns in certain areas continue to show up. This is what happened to me. Okay, I was having patterns with friendships, patterns with blow-ups, patterns with getting kicked out of Jovian over and over again, right? It's like, why does this continue to show up? And so where you can see the patterns is maybe repeating relationship rooms, visibility fears. Like if we're fearlessly stepping forward, where's the visibility fear? Where do we shrink? Money patterns and receiving blocks. So money patterns are like afraid to pay for something or afraid to receive, or you want the information, but you're not willing to like do what's necessary, and then you're not willing to charge the value, to charge what you need to charge for your business to be successful, right? So that's self-worth and not enough loops. Emotional reactivity. So someone triggers you and you see something and you get immediately jealous, or someone does something and you immediately feel shame. These emotional reactivities, these are things that show up over and over again. This is where it breaks down for the soul correction, whether it's overgiving or betrayal or self-betrayal. Where there's feeling misunderstood. A lot of individuals will get this, like, no one really gets me. The light and release frustration and anger, Jody says. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. It's exactly it. Knowing your purpose, but not fully living it, not truly understanding your uniqueness. Okay. And so these are patterns that we're seeing in the soul correction. Why does it keep showing up? This is the piece human design is not mapping out. This is the piece I kept seeing happening. This is the piece where this revelatory new information started coming in, because I was noticing this bumping up, bumping up, bumping up again. People getting afraid, people not reaching their goals, people not being able to heal the body. This is a big one in human design. Not knowing where to go to heal the body. Okay. So this, as we begin to reveal the deeper reason your soul's manifested, again, like I said, we're going to be doing this in the 8-week program. It's the deeper lessons of your life purpose. The destiny begins to emerge. And this is where we're uncovering past life patterns, emotional coding, conditioning, subconscious sabotage, and then and this is another thing, if those of you who have been studying human design, even where human design as identity subtly disguises keeping you stuck. So like I see this a lot of times, and people are like, oh, I'm a projector, so I'm not here to work. I'm not here to work that hard. Well, okay, sort of true, but not really. You're here to be inspired through energy of recognition. Then the energy turns on. And if you have that block before you start, then you're never going to get anywhere. Or the emotional beings like, I can't do this because I'm not in the mood. Okay, so then it's a subtle disguise that is hidden in what Kabbalah calls your opponent. The opponent is the not self theme on AI. Like it knows every place you block yourself, every place you use your spiritual lingo to keep you stuck, every place where you are secretly sabotaging or secretly having an addiction or secretly, stalking your ex on Facebook, like whatever, like, so once we start moving through this soul correction with this information of the Kabbalah, what starts to happen is we begin then to have higher dimensional reveal as the soul corrections begin to shift within you. You begin to see healing in the body. That was the first thing that happened to me. I have the breakdown moment in human design when my hormones were everything. The funniest thing is I was telling this to people, like, I had this come to Jesus moment where I would go to one person, then the next person I would go to, they'd give me conflicting information or say, don't do that. And then it was completely conflicting. And so it was this information battled this information. And I'm like, okay, I'm never going to heal my hormones. Like I'm always going to be like completely out of balance. Right. And I had this moment when the pain was so great and the symptoms were so severe that I sat down at a park, literally dropped to my knees. And you guys know I'm not a religious person, and prayed. I'm like, God help me. And I mean, within a couple of days, the Kabbalah wisdom started to come in, and I started to learn like what I'm doing wrong. And the first thing they say is nothing out there will ever fix the problem. Nothing out there will ever fix the problem, because that's the 1%, and everything in the 1% is a mirror of the 99%. And so you need to go to the 99% in order to heal anything. So as we started doing this work, I immediately started seeing where I was using the energy improperly. So in other words, like electricity was always there, but we needed the wiring, we needed the light switches, we need to figure the light bulb out in order for us to use it properly. Well, the divine source is always here to help us manifest the unseen world, the 99%. But if you're not speaking correctly to that divine source and you're not understanding how that energy operates, you're going to have bad results. So I started learning like where I'm communicating in the wrong way. I started learning where human design was actually keeping me stuck in some places. I started to see the whole map being revealed. And I'm, like I said, an investigator. So I needed to see it all mapped out. And the first thing that was revealed to me was healing in the body. All of a sudden, after a very long time of being in hormonal imbalance, and I mean trying everything, every single diet, going to like very overpriced, high expensive healers, doing all kinds of programs, getting all kinds of, whatever the thing is that people are offering, right? The very first thing that I started doing just from going to the 99%, my body began to heal itself. And I was like, oh my God, like this is turning on the source. So this is the first thing that starts to map out. Okay. The next thing is more confidence in who you are and the unique gifts that you carry. And the clearer the ability to recognize the difference between the true guidance, the conditioning, and the reactive fear. So the stronger confidence in your inner authority is the doorway to the spiritual partnership and a stronger foundation for holding more light without collapsing into the old reactions. And then a greater capacity to receive support, recognition, abundance, aligned opportunities, and a deeper recognition of your soul's purpose and certainty and how to actualize it in this lifetime. and to let it work for you and to see, this is what I do. Projectors, we see the gaps. We see the gaps. So what I'm going to do is I am going to go into this manifestation sprint for summer. So what I'd like for you guys to do is type in the chat if you're ready for this. So everybody who's listening on YouTube, also, if you guys can type in the chat if you're ready, just put a yes. I'm going to start with our centering process, and then I'm going to ask you to pull out your journal. So go ahead and type in the chat if you're ready. Type a yes. Jody, yes. Tina, yes. Corinne, yes. Awesome, 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 awesome. Are you guys ready? Becky, yes. Teresa, yes. Awesome, 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 awesome. Okay, let's see. I want to make sure I can connect into my the people watching live. Are you ready? Embodied vibrance? Vicky, Brenda, you guys ready too? Okay. All right, so taking a breath with me. And let's take a second to just be present in this moment. Allow yourself to really let go of anything that needs to be released. And allow yourself to get present. We're moving into a new place of manifestation, a place where we tap into the unseen world, a place where the 99% of the reality exists, the place where we know and align with the God zone. We're not afraid to call in a unique relationship to the light source, a unique vibration, to know that we're going to see things more clearly, that it is not just about calling in what we want and vibrating, but we know that we need to shift the vessel to hold more alignment to the light, to what we're asking for. And in order to hold that, we need to look at our reactions, our jealousies, our anger, our resentments, our places of resistance, the place we stay stuck, the place we play small, the place we blame, the place we look for results before we've really let the flower water and the seeds be nurtured. Seeds are in darkness. The baby is hidden for 9 months. So sometimes we're checking results too soon. And then we need to continue to move into this place of certainty, which transforms the vessel. You have to do the work to transform the vessel. You have to do the sacred practices. You have to continue to do the alignment, even in the face of resistance and doubt. So I would like you to breathe that in. And then come back into this space and pull out your journal. I'm going to ask you a series of questions. So everybody go ahead and let me know if you have your journal. You ready? You guys have your journal? So the minimum time required for this pattern to override is 40 days. So this is a 90-day sprint, but in 40 days, you'll start to see the transformation. So I'm going to ask you guys to commit to 40 days. Are you willing to do that? So you're not doing a vision board. What we're doing is a vessel renovation. This is different. It's precise. It's surgical. This is ancient mystery school knowledge that transformed and that shaped the entire reality that we live in. It shaped the Pythagorean theory. It shaped the Neville Goddard. It shaped the Christ teachings. Like, this is ancient wisdom that you can rely on. To me, that's very, very exciting. Are you guys excited? So you're not creating, you are revealing. So just like the light, electricity, we didn't create electricity, we revealed the potentiality in the field. And what your soul is wanting you to do is to reveal the co-creation between you and the God zone and your 3D world. You're here to reveal the potentiality of your uniqueness. And the reason you tap into the desire is because the desire is already existing in the 99%. If you have the desire, you have the solution. It's contained within, it's multidimensional. Do you get that? That's what Abraham Hicks always says. Do you guys understand that? It's contained within, it's already here, but you're not revealing it because your vessel isn't strong enough. That's always, according to Kabbalah, that's always the reason. It's here, the vessel is not strong enough to hold it. Okay. Question number 1, pull out your journals. If you're listening to this and you need to pause, if you're listening to the replay, if you need to pause, here we go. Question number 1, what is the one thing I want to reveal in physical reality this summer? So you kind of talked about it, but I want you to get specific. Okay. You don't want to say, I want a new career. You say, I want my new career is full. I love what I'm doing. My product buyers, clients, customers are deeply transformed. So take the time to write it out fully. This is not fantasy. This is your vessel learning to speak from the 99% of reality, which means that you're really honoring the desires. You're honoring it, what's here. You're not pushing it down. You're not letting yourself fall into mediocrity. Life is good enough. It's okay. Right? Okay. We kind of did that one already. So let's go to question 2. What is the pattern in me that has blocked this from landing before? The moment I get close to visibility, I find a reason to pull back. Every time abundance starts to flow, I sabotage it with an unnecessary expense. I need people to approve of me before I trust my own knowing. What is the thing that you block? Be specific, not fear, because that's too general. So I want you to name the exact pattern. This reveals the place where your vessel is asking to expand. So you need to reach and you need to be with this reaction in a new way. Okay, you need to be with the reaction in a new way. Okay, question 3. On a scale of 1 to 10, how certain am I right now that this already exists in the 99%, the unseen world? On a scale of 1 to 10, be honest. Okay, be honest. So what you're going to do is the 99%, repeat that, please. Yeah. On a scale of 1 to 10, how certain am I right now that this already exists in the 99% in the unseen world? How certain are you that it already exists? Because it is kind of a crazy concept. How certain are you? Let's say you won $1 million. Well, how certain are you that that really exists? Well, I don't know because, I have to work to get it. It's like, I can't really see how. I'm not sure how my business could make $1 million tomorrow. I don't really have, my products aren't worth that much, so I'm probably about 5 on a scale of 1 to 10 certain that $1 million would land in my bank account tomorrow. You know? So what the Kabbalah says, and even Abraham Hicks says, is that if you were 100% certain, it would be revealed tomorrow. But most of us have life and we have, all of the things around us. And believe me, I'm putting myself in this category. I do not think that I could have it tomorrow. Like, it doesn't seem possible for me. So I'm not quite there yet either. Right. But that's what they say. So, but as far as like, let's say, your business right now, it's making 100,000 and you want it to make 200,000. Well, maybe you're pretty certain, like 10 out of 10 certain that that's possible. Like that exists right now. I can feel that. I can be certain in that. That is like just doubling what I'm doing. Maybe, a little more advertised. Like I can see it. I'm 100%, I'm a 10 out of 10 that can happen. So the Kabbalistic term for the unseen realm where the desire already exists, Abraham Hicks calls this the vortex. And this number, my goal for you guys is this number will change over the summer. So you want to be completely honest, because the more you do this work and the more you do, you have the practice and you do this work, the more certainty is revealed in your manifestation. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to give you guys an action that places this into the realm of strengthening the vessel. So now action every single day. Again, action is different based on your inner authority and on your type. So for generators, you do need to wait in response. Manifestors, you're good to go. Manifesting generators in response. Projectors, you want to make sure you have the energy. This type of action isn't about waiting to be invited. It's about making sure you're in your joy and you have the energy with no expectation of results, right? And then reflector, same thing. It has to be really in, if there's reflectors listening to this video in the replay, because I don't think we have any here. So sharing comes first before the receiving, always. So the one action today, sorry, I'm jumping ahead. So the one action every single day is, if you want a full coaching practice, right? Give one piece of genuine wisdom today with no expectation. If you want financial abundance, give real value. So time, knowledge, money, or referral. So if you're building your money, give back. You want, if you want people to invest in you, invest in other people. Like, let that flow happen. Creative reach, promote someone else's work today. So let's say no one's looking at your videos, promote someone else's video. Maybe comment on someone else's posts. So you want to do one creative reach out, and you're doing this as an exercise to align and strengthen the giving, the sharing. So the sharing becomes before the receiving. So what this is also doing is strengthening the certainty. So every day, perform one specific act of sharing directly related to your desire with no expectation in return. What you're doing is moving and getting the flow. For Mrs., how does waiting to respond work with this action? Okay. For MGs, this is really good. So it would be something like this. Let's say you're working on your videos or your podcast. You want your videos or podcasts to get more views. What you're going to do is say, you know what? I'm going to take my mind off of, my videos, and I'm going to share somebody else's video. But I want to wait until I know exactly whose video to share. So you just wait. And then 3 times in a row, you see something from a friend of yours that's promoting a podcast that's new for her. And she talks about it. You see it in her Facebook group, or you see the name of the podcast, and you think, oh my God, wouldn't it be wonderful for me to share her work, to kind of give back? So you're doing more of that flow where it's like, okay, I'm going to give. And you're doing it in response. Does that make sense? What a great question, Tina. That is a beautiful question. By the way, where do we find info for personal reading? So Brenda, you can just email us at support@raquelreina.com. And let me type it in the chat for you. And like I said, we're doing a freebie for those people that are joining the program. It's an 8-week program. We're doing a free reading for everyone who joins before the, I believe the date is June 9th. So it will come with it. It will come with it. And we can help also do your soul correction one-on-one. So it's a really good deal. And it's a really, the other thing is I want to tell you guys, we are setting up payment plans as low as $55. And you can set up the $55 that you've already spent in the challenge to apply. So if you guys would like to do that. So I am really excited about doing this 8-week program. I hope that I can get some of you to jump in and experience this full process where we're going to go through. Are you in? I'm so excited. Oh my God, I'm so excited. It is going to be so fantastic. I want to give you guys the link. And like I said, email us for the payment plan options. And let me try and get it to YouTube as well. I can get it here. I'm so excited. Let me get it here as well. So we're going to walk you through soul correction. We're going to walk you through this manifestation deeper, more profoundly through your personalized work, and help you to step into an entirely new way of letting things come into your life. It's really life-changing. So there's the link. And then also let me give you the support for anybody who needs to email us for any type of discounted payment plan. I hope you guys join us. So for those of you on YouTube, I'm going to try and get you the link right here. Those of you who are interested. Let me see if I can do it. Uh-oh. And also, if you guys have any questions, type them in the chats. So I want to take a pause. Okay, that's not going to work right now. Let's see. How am I going to do this? All right. Type in any questions. Type in your questions. We're going to end in just a minute. I know a couple of you are like, okay, we are going to end in just 1 second. So type in any questions. I just want to get you guys the link in case you guys are ready to join. Okay. Sorry, you guys. Let's see if I can do it. I don't know. I may have to have you guys email me at support, everybody who's on YouTube. All right, questions. Any questions? I thought I had it and then it disappeared. Hold on a second. Oh, wait, I know where it is. I know where it is. Hold on. Okay. No, 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 no. All right. Questions, questions, questions. Where is it? Of course. Questions. Okay. Let me see. During this last private chef trial, something from another household came through to speak to me. And it said, "Don't waste your light." Unsure if that made sense. I tried my hardest to feel through another worker household member. Okay, let's see. During this last private chef trial, something from another household came through to speak to me, and it said, "Don't waste your light." I'm not sure what you mean. I tried the hardest gig to feel through another worker. Can I unmute? Yes, why don't you unmute?
Sorry, that's so difficult to freaking type out. All
It's
right,
fine.
so I
I'm
was,
excited.
hey, I was, I was trailing in a very high principal, wealthy person's home. And they have like PAs, they have nurses aides, they have private chefs for everybody else of the household. Anyhow, so there was a PA that was helping the elderly man of the house, and I was the chef for the entire household, family, 5 people. Um, that PA came into my space because, we shared the kitchen, he has to wash his hands, yada, yada, yada. Something was coming near me. It was him, but I felt that it was something different. And on the left side of his face, I seen like a canine tooth come out, and I heard, and it started to voice, "Don't waste your light here." I then had this the third day. That was the second day. I know this is a very odd thing to say out loud. On the third day when I was there, I tried my hardest. The owner came home, and needless to say, the gig fell through. But there were like inklings of me doing my hardest work as chef in this private home. It was awesome money, but it was just gruesome of work, and something guided me to tell me, or came through to me to tell me, don't waste my energy here. Does this make
Yeah,
sense?
so it feels a little bit like um
Was I blocking, or was that an actuality?
right. So when that message came through, did it feel like it was coming from a higher space?
It had energy, and I always say no because I don't know what it is. And I'm looking down, and plus, in the shifting of whatever was going on, I don't want to look like that person saying no, and then him going, "What are you talking about?" So, from my perspective, it felt it was a very strong energy. Yeah, it was a very strong energy, but I didn't understand it. It didn't feel like it was evil or bad, I don't think. It was just a very strong energy when it came through.
Hmm. And
Yeah.
so what is the next move that you feel like you do want to make as far as your private chef?
I
Like as a private chef, what would be more ideal for you?
uh I realize that it has to be a perfect fit, meaning the personalities of me and the other people, and it has to be like less people, not 5 people with different freaking diet restrictions. A family that likes to eat together, and then whatever snacks and whatever cool nuances they want to do in their home. Desserts,
Okay,
catering, parties.
right. And so I guess the question would be, um, when was the last time you feel like you've had that alignment to that level of chef job that you want, or is that something you're still pulling in?
I think I'm still pulling in because I had another job fall through in Oregon, Lake Oswego, and then I moved up here, and this was higher pay. But the family was just, I mean, they were just a little too demanding. We'll just be polite on that.
And you're still with them or no?
No, I kind of I kind of retracted my energy, and then we kind of just parted ways.
Okay. And you're waiting for the next one?
Yeah, I am. Yes.
Okay. Okay, good. So it is possible that that was the message, that something bigger, better, more aligned is coming through. And so your job is, you know, to one of the most important principles that we bring forward with this new type of Kabbalistic manifestation is to know that everything has happened for a reason and is good. So
Okay.
everything that has happened is like, yes, that was my stepping stone. Yes, that was exactly what was needed. Yes, that was my guidance to have a job that's perfect. And like moving into that place of complete certainty that you're aligned in the right place and aligned in the right direction. And so the more certain you have, the more certainty you have, then the more certainty you take your next step. And then the more certainty you take your next step, the more you align to the right next job, you know?
Yeah.
So whatever that was the perfect aligned step that you need.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that's good. Did that
Whew.
help?
Yes, it did, because I was like, you're probably the only person that would understand that. Thank you.
Don't you love those messages? I love it.
Yes, with
Okay,
love.
let me see if there are any other questions on, let's see. Are there any other questions on YouTube? I'm gonna try and look down here again. Sorry, you guys. I know this is awkward. Um, Here we go. Is it still? Let's see. Excited. Thank you so much for payment plan. Yay, Brenda. Okay, who's this? Someone's waiting in the waiting room. We're just finishing up. If you're just jumping in, we're pretty much just finishing up here. Did anyone have a question? Don't get near the heat, LOL. That's Vicky. Her classes are awesome, and I mean on the right attention 6, so it hit many heat recommendations. Thank you, Vicky. Thank you so much. All right. So, any more questions? Thank you for that, Teresa. I love hearing people's journeys about, kind of figuring out what the messages are, what's happening. So I do want to have a completion. I want to thank you guys for being here, all of you. I am sorry about the Zoom link. Obviously, a bunch of you made it on YouTube, and I apologize. But the good news is I got to see your chats, and this recording will be available, and you'll be able to go back through the beginning. So again, I would love to walk you guys through this 8-week program. It's going to be a very powerful first integration of the soul correction and the human design while we're still mapping out. It's a really good opportunity to get some one-on-one support from me, and Davidian will be involved as well. We're going to go through such a really fun, deep piece of information. So the 8-week program is going to begin soon. We don't have the exact date, but the sprint you want to start now. So the exercise we did today, your one action, you want to start that today. The 8-week program, we're probably going to start soon. But the minute you guys are into the 8-week program, we're going to immediately start your one-on-one and immediately start preparing you for the journey. And we also have a bunch of bonuses as well. Okay, so do we have any other questions? All right, so payment plans, email us. We'll figure it out. We love you guys. Thank you so much for everyone.